Lou Elizondo's lawyer, Danny Sheehan, has responded to Vetted. Let's dive in and see what this is all about. All right, if you're new to the channel, y'all, and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. We put our new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day, y'all. Please hit that like button. If you really want to support Vetted, that's how you help us. So thank y'all so much for hitting that like button, Vetters. And of course, comment down below, what do you think of this, right? You're probably like, what am I supposed to comment? Well, you'll see. Let's dive in. So, how did Danny Sheehan respond to Vetted? Well, Ben from Unraveling the Universe hosts a podcast and had Danny Sheehan on. Not too long ago, Ben had emailed me, asked me if I wanted to ask some questions to Danny. I sent a couple questions, and he was able to ask these during the interview. Now, let me state, I did tell Ben, you don't have to ask these questions, man, right? It's your platform, your interview. You do what you want. I absolutely appreciate you reaching out and letting me do that. So I just want to say huge shout out to Ben and his channel and his interview and for doing that. The dude is super cool, man. I got to be honest. He is quickly becoming like my favorite interviewer in this field. And his channel needs to grow. He needs to get more interviews. We need to be championing people like Ben to do these sorts of interviews, right? Vetted doesn't really do a lot of interviews. I try, right? But people just don't want to come on. I can't help that. Some people do. Some people don't, right? And again, I don't want to be trying to get a bunch of interviews. That's not my thing. My thing is daily videos, y'all, right? But I will sporadically put in some interviews. So I have tried to get Danny Sheehan on, right? And I did get a sort of a basic response from the Romero Institute, and they just said they had passed on my message to Danny, and I never heard back, and that was well over a month ago. So I have tried to get Danny on, and I often wonder, does he even know who I am? Well, we can now confirm he definitely knows who I am, who Vetted is, without Ben having to even mention it. So, well, he mentions it and asks if he knows who I am, and Danny says, yeah, he's familiar with me. And, you know, I can tell Danny's probably not too happy with Vetted and with me. And let me just state at the beginning here, I have zero problem with Danny Sheehan. Zero. Right? I have no problems with him. That is true. I respect everyone in this field. The only thing I ask questions about are the claims they make, right? The words that come out of their mouth, but them as a person, I have nothing against them. What do I know? I don't know this guy. He's probably a great guy. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary questions, right? Extraordinary questions. I'm sorry. If you're a public figure and you're making extraordinary claims like this, right, answering the greatest question humanity has ever faced, I think the public is allowed to ask some questions, right? And I know I represent a lot of people that are out there listening, watching, right, that want to know the answers to this stuff as well. So if Danny or people like him are uncomfortable with the questions that I ask, just know that, right, I'm not the only one that wants to know these answers or, you know, and has these questions. And I don't think the questions are disrespectful in any way. Again, it's focused on the claims, right? So let's dive in, see what this is all about. It's going to get a little spicy, y'all. I think, you know, we'll see. Let's just get going here.
No, okay, no worries. Well, let's not just guess at stuff then. So I'm going to move on past that.
You don't know.
I got a couple of questions here from Patrick at Vetted. I don't know if you're familiar with his channel. Have you come across it before?
Yes, I've heard of Patrick.
Yeah, he's doing some good stuff. He's kind of like keeping this like down to earth, you know, skeptical but open minded approach to looking at these things, and I guess trying to keep us all honest, which is good. So
Thanks,
he wants to know: did you tell Stephen Greer that Luis Elizondo was present at a facility with a UFO? I don't know when, but have you ever said that to Stephen Greer?
No. No, I've never said that to Stephen Greer.
Why am I asking that? We'll come back to this because Ben asked one more question. Actually, let's hear the rest of this, and then we'll come back. Again, I have zero problems with Danny Sheehan, and I'm glad he answered that question. So he's saying no, he never told Stephen Greer that Luis Elizondo was in a facility with a UFO, right? He's saying, and you probably wonder, Patrick, why would you want to know that? Stay tuned.
Okay. And what are your thoughts in general, like your overall thoughts on Stephen Greer?
Oh, I don't think that's a proper question. I was the legal counsel for the Disclosure Project for 20 years, and I've had lots of encounters with Stephen, lots of discussions with him. It's not appropriate for me to be reflecting on what I think about him. It's like asking me, what do I think about Lou Elizondo, who's one of my clients, or what do I think about Dan Ellsberg? That's not an appropriate thing for a lawyer to do.
I can understand Danny's sentiment. I can tell he probably didn't like that question, right? He says it's not an appropriate question from me. Let's be real. If I asked you about your best friend or someone you've known for a long time or worked with, hey, what are your overall thoughts on this guy? Yeah, he's a great guy. Love working with him. Super professional. Whatever, right? You got something to say about them, right? The idea that you wouldn't have any thoughts on Stephen Greer. Why not just say he's a great guy? You love working with him, appreciate the work he's doing, what he's adding to the fight against disclosure and, all of this stuff, right? Why not say that? I don't know. Again, but I can understand Danny as a lawyer. Maybe I wasn't asking as a lawyer, right? But anyway, regardless, I can understand his sentiment. Now, Patrick, you're like, some of you may be thinking, Patrick, you said at the beginning, you focus on the claims, not the people. I get that. But this is important because knowing how Danny feels about Stephen Greer and sort of the direction he's taken his claims, that's basically what it is. And I think I just didn't ask the question right. So my bad. I think that's on me. I didn't ask the correct question. And to be honest, I wish I would have had a follow-up question of, did you tell Stephen, Greer about Luis Elizondo in a facility with the UFO? And is that true? Right? So that's my fault. This is why I would love to interview Danny so that I can have these follow-up questions and ask. Again, it's all in fair, good fun, just wanting to know about these things, right? Danny is a public figure, right? He has businesses and nonprofits that he's trying to get people like me to join up with. So we got questions. Just want to know these things. It's not like we're going after some guy in the middle of the street who's just walking by on his way to buy, vegetables and bread. I mean, I don't know who goes out for vegetables and bread, but you know what I mean? This is a person who is making claims and expecting us to take these claims seriously and act on these claims, right? Wants us to reach out to Congress and ask for a disclosure, right? And reach out to our representatives based on information he's telling us. So yes, we have questions. You're asking us to ask our own government for more funding, right? To pay more tax dollars that come out of my pocket. So now money's involved. Yes, I have questions, and so do a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I hope these people are not upset because it's not a good look to get upset for people asking questions about this. Again, I'm never disrespectful. I'm not mean. These are just questions that, honestly, millions of people probably have when they hear claims like this. And that's okay. We should be able to ask these questions, in my opinion. So I should have asked that question differently about Stephen Greer so I can understand Danny's response there, to be fair to him, right? So, but I don't know why, just as another little caveat, why not just say, yeah, Stephen's a great guy. Love working with him. Really enjoy my time with him. I don't know. Just seems interesting. If you ask me about somebody that I worked with for a long time, that's what I would say. If I enjoyed working with him, right? Now, if you wanted to get into details of this, that, or the other, I might say, okay, I can't talk about that. Right. So I don't know. I can't tell if Danny's a little perturbed with Vetted and me. Am I being narcissistic? You probably think this song is about you, right? Is that me? Maybe. It's possible. I'm pretty good at reading people. I can tell he's a little uncomfortable, probably with me and Vetted. And not because he's scared of me. I mean, good God, Danny's a lawyer and a phenomenal one at that, right? He would smoke me in a debate. So that's why I don't know. Come on, Danny. Come on to the show, man. I want to have a respectful, open, civil conversation. I respect you. To be honest with you, a conversation between us would go a long way in the community. I guarantee you that. Right? We just want clarification. I'm for disclosure, Danny. I want our representatives to pass these laws. I want us to investigate these sightings. Right? I do believe something is absolutely flying around, interfering, right, with civilian aircraft, military aircraft. Who knows what's under the ocean? Like, there is a lot going on. I'm in. I want to know what's going on too, but I have questions along the way, especially if I'm being asked to sign up for classes and degrees and donate. And does that make sense? Yeah, we got questions. So that's all it is. Nothing but respect. I mean that. Nothing but respect. If we were out eating, whatever, I'd pick up the bill, buy your drinks. Hey, it's on me. Just want to talk. Son preguntas nada más. All right. Let me show you why this is important. We're going to come back. There's another part of Ben's interview with Danny Sheehan. Honestly, I recommend watching the entire interview. I mean, from second one to the end. Ben does a phenomenal job. It's just full of goodies, this interview. I'm just being honest. It's just full of goodies. The dude is super well prepared. I honestly can't say enough good things about Ben, if I'm being honest. Not just because he asked my questions on there. Okay, I could care less. I'm thankful he did, but that's not why I'm saying that. He really is. Watch it. You'll see. And I hope he gets more interviews. And honestly, him involving parts of the community to on these questions is a great idea. One, it gets me to promote his channel, talk about it, which is smart. Okay. But look at, if you go to his description of that video, you'll see how well put together it is. There's a lot of factors that take into place. He's really well organized, right? In email correspondence and getting these questions and preparing for these interviews. So anybody willing to go on a show just know he prepares a lot, and you can expect a great conversation and great questions. So again, shout out to Ben, Unraveling the Universe. Links in the description. Go subscribe, support the man, please. All right. So why did I ask that question? Because I made a video not too long ago titled, "If True About Luis Elizondo, It Changes Everything." It is true, because there was an interview where Stephen Greer came out and basically said that Danny Sheehan had told him, right, had told Stephen Greer that Luis Elizondo had been in a facility with a UFO, basically insinuating that he had firsthand, knowledge, right? Firsthand witness to a UFO. Not a document, not a picture, not an actual UFO, right? He was in a facility with a UFO. Now, that's classified, right? That would be classified. So if Luis Elizondo told Danny Sheehan that, that's not good, right? And then if Danny Sheehan tells Stephen Greer that, that's not good either. And then Stephen Greer tells the public, that's not good either, right? A lot of breaks in the chain there. So I guess one of two things. Danny Sheehan could be denying it because there's laws being broken there if he were to admit that, right? So I get that. So, but could Stephen Greer be lying, right? Did he make that up? Because somebody has to be lying here, right? Who's lying? Is it Stephen Greer or Danny Sheehan? Or neither. They're just protecting this. They don't want this to come out publicly. All right. But why wouldn't... Let's watch this clip with Stephen Greer, and then we'll get to it.
Yeah. And this is an update, sort of urgent. Many of you may have seen recently that the Disclosure Project pro bono attorney, Daniel Sheehan, who did the Pentagon Papers, Iran-Contra, the Silkwood case, and many others, is now working with Luis Elizondo. And so a lot of people are very confused on what's going on, since, of course, everyone on this call probably knows Luis Elizondo is a professional disinformation agent putting out false intelligence about the UFO matter in through the mainstream media. The reason...
So, real quick, right? This is so weird with the Patrick and Patrick on this one. I got to be honest. This is... So he's calling out Luis Elizondo, saying he's a disinformation agent, right there. Hang on, we're getting to that part that I'm talking about. But why isn't Danny Sheehan suing Stephen Greer if these things aren't true? I mean, this is libel. This is defamation. Why are they not taking Stephen Greer to court over this stuff? Right? Why does nobody take anybody to court over this stuff? All right? Because if you get personal with people, then they can. But I guess these claims, there's no way to, how do you prove that? You're going to go to court and prove you're not a disinformation agent? I don't know. Like, it's interesting why they wouldn't want to sue Stephen Greer for saying something so libelous, right? Defamation. That could literally cause Luis Elizondo to lose, right, financial gain. There's a lot of factors for that to take place. But it's all here, right? Is there a conflict of interest? I don't know. I just find all this unusual. And I know a lot of people do, man. Right? We find a lot of this unusual, how there could be such different narratives about what's going on and what the truth is. Because they essentially have access to the same information. Right? And their conclusions are quite different. You know, who are we to believe? Who are we to trust? That's why we ask these questions, y'all. Just because we want to know what direction to go. Otherwise, we're blindfolded on this journey trying to figure out where to go. That's not going to work. All right, we're like Bird Box up in this bitch. Right? I'm going to play the rest of this. I'm not trying to interrupt, but Patrick, you do interrupt a lot. Okay, I just vetted myself. You do interrupt a lot. But, I mean, that's just it. Okay, so look at that. It is so weird to have this Patrick and Patrick. Okay, I really wanted to get to the clip here. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to Stephen Greer.
We've had a long discussion about it going back 2 or 3 weeks, is that Luis Elizondo approached him to help him with his legal case because the Pentagon was about to pull his security clearances. And it wasn't because he was doing things with TTSA, that they wanted him to do that. It was because he had resigned from TTSA, fallen out with the people that were the hardliners wanting him to present that there was an alien threat or a threat to the national security. And he has told 2 people on my team, including attorney Daniel Sheehan, that he knows, and the other people like Chris Mellon know, that there is no such thing as an alien threat, that there is not a threat to the national security, but that's the only way they can get this in front of the American people to get more overt funding for the Space Force and eventually a conflict with these extraterrestrial civilizations. He has flat out said he knows that everything he's been saying about this being a threat is untrue. Now, Daniel Sheehan has also shared, and this is even more explosive, that Luis Elizondo has informed him that he, in fact, has been in a facility where an actual extraterrestrial vehicle was stored. Now, why is that important? Because he's all over the news, 60 Minutes, every mainstream news channel, along with his other cohorts in the cover-up, such as Leslie Keene, Nick Pope, Chris Mellon, and others, saying that we don't know what these are. Now, interestingly, he absolutely knows that some of these craft are in fact of extraterrestrial origin. He must also then know that some of them are ours. For example, the recent...
So look, I'll put a link, again, links in the description. Go check out this video I made. If true about Luis Elizondo, it changes everything. It's got a bunch of different sources in there. Go check out the whole video. Watch it. It's a great video to kind of give you a lot more backstory on this, right? Of why I asked that question to Daniel Sheehan, why I passed that question off to Ben. Because, right, let's be real. Again, we have Stephen Greer making out, I mean, these are crazy claims, right? Stephen Greer saying just things about Luis Elizondo that, again, if they're true, it changes the whole narrative, right? That Luis Elizondo knows there's no alien threat, but he's just saying that to get the government for funding. He's just making it up to prepare us for some alien invasion that we're going to have, and we're going to be fighting them. Is that being told? Possibly. Is Luis Elizondo telling people that? Possibly. I got to be honest. My Tim Taylor episode is going to dive into that a little bit more. Okay? And that is coming. I know people want it. It's a lot of editing, y'all. Okay? I got to be very careful with that episode. I see people trolling me, putting it every single video as if it does something, y'all. Relax. Okay? I'm going to put it out when it's ready because it has to be right. But it's just very interesting. There's more to that, right? There's more to that story that Luis Elizondo and company are telling the government or governments that there is a national security threat, right? Now, to be fair, you have military personnel saying, pardon me, these things are flying around in our training sessions and this, that, the other. I mean, look at Ryan Graves. Look at Commander David Fravor. So clearly there is a national security threat. I don't think Luis Elizondo needs to make up anything about that. I think that's something we can all see. If there's stuff flying around in our atmosphere that we can't control or don't know what it is, that's not good. If anything, the United States government doesn't want that to come out because then that makes the government like we're not controlling our airspace or our borders, right? You know what I mean? And that's not a good look. So maybe that's the pushback, right? But I don't think, I tend to lean towards Luis Elizondo on this one than Stephen Greer, right? If I'm being honest. Because again, I don't think, regardless of what Luis Elizondo says, we can see that for ourselves that there is a national security threat. So the fact that Stephen is saying Luis Elizondo is just making that up, he's not. We can see that for ourselves regardless of Luis Elizondo in the picture, right? So anyway, but the fact that Stephen would make up this story potentially, right? That's what Danny's saying. He's saying he never told Stephen that. Right? That happened. Right? Now, maybe there's some semantics there. That's possible. Listening to Stephen there, he's saying 2 people on our team. So maybe he didn't tell Stephen directly, but he told 2 people on the team. See, I'm just now, it's just now hitting me that maybe I asked that question wrong to Danny because he's a lawyer. So it's you have to ask the question specifically. Otherwise, he can say no, and it's not a lie. Right. So now I'm confusing myself. Now I don't know what's going on. Did I ask that question wrong? Vet me. Vet this situation for me. Help me out here. Am I reading this wrong? Did I interpret this wrong? Did I ask that question wrong? Again, this is why I want to have an interview with Danny Sheehan. We can work all this out, figure it out. What's going on? So I plead with Danny Sheehan if he wants to come on. If he doesn't, it's all good. Again, I do daily videos. I don't need interviews. It's not how I built this channel up. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want to have to rely on interviews to grow my channel. Right? And I know a lot of people, that's what they do. And I get it. And we need people like that. Again, like Ben. I will be supporting Ben, dude. Like, again, I've watched a lot of his interviews. He's great, dude. We need more people like him, level-headed, open-minded, but also wants to know these questions, right? And he's just professional. He's nice. He's courteous. We just need more of that. So I don't know, man. Was I not specific enough with that question? But it is interesting because, again, Danny Sheehan is denying that he ever told Stephen Greer that. Right? So I don't know, man, what's going on there. But let's move on to the next interesting topic that, you know what? Actually, we're going to move on to the last bit here. So, as y'all know, we got merch, right? Go check it out, vetted.show. And I've always said, if you get some merch, you take a picture, you know, with the merch or whatever, you're wearing it, something like that, send it to me. I'll share it. Well, that's what happened. So this guy on Instagram, give him a shout out here. Let's bring him up. El Comandante from Arizona, okay? Paco Duerte. Great guy. He's got like 70,000 followers on Instagram, so go support him. He puts up a lot of great art. He's in a group, so I want to give a huge shout out, okay? 602 Syndicate, y'all. I heard some of their music. It's amazing. Apparently they're in the studio. They watch the show. So shout out to everyone in the show. That's awesome. I can't tell y'all enough what that support means to somebody like me. I work really hard every day on this stuff. Every day. I've worked every day on this since September 1st when I started doing daily videos, somewhere around there. Every day. I have not missed a day. So, questioning my dedication to this, I hope that's not the case. Now, maybe my sanity or my intelligence, okay, but I work hard. I do. And it's nice to get some appreciation because these guys work hard too. We all work hard. There's a lot of you out there work way harder than me on real jobs. Okay, I sit in front of a camera and a mic and blab, armchair it, right? Armchair quarterback this. But I want to read this. Órale, fools. I'm fully vetted, and you should be too. Shout out Patrick Scott Armstrong at Vetted Podcast. The search for the truth regarding these insane machines zipping around in our sky is loaded with disinformation and misinformation. However, there's also truth in there somewhere as well. Whether you believe it's military, private companies, NHI, etc., there is no better source than Vetted. Patrick does a video every day researching and weeding out nonsensical stories and also exploring stories that are very interesting and have merit. Y'all know I never do this. This ain't no paid ad. If you are interested in the phenomenon, Vetted is where you need to be 100%. Man, thank you so much for the kind words, dude. I can't tell you enough how much that means to me. I mean that. It's things like this. I do it for y'all watching. That's what it is. I'm a conduit for y'all to get these questions out and do the work that y'all can't do, right? Y'all are working, taking care of families, kids, whatever your situation is. Maybe a loved one. You're disabled and you're at home and, whatever. You work too hard. You got to watch the show in a car on the way over. Someone tweeted at me watching Vetted in the car. It was so cool. I love that. So go to my Twitter and you can check that out, that picture. Love that, But check this out, man. He's got the beanie on. Let's go, yo. Got the sticker. Honestly, look at the shirt, man. That is so sick. I want that shirt he's got on. And check out their music. Check out his art. Honestly, it's amazing. So please, thank y'all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you want to get some of this stuff too, go to vetted.show and you can get it, all right? And if you want to join the Patreon, that's where the link is too. Today is our first Zoom hangout, right? We're going to be doing that every week. If you join Patreon as a paid member, we're going to be hanging out every week on Zoom, getting to know each other privately, okay? This is not anything that goes out publicly. Where we'll, there'll be a lot of talk. There'll be, me giving little clues about what's coming up, playing little clips, before they're ever shown, so you get little early release type stuff, I guess. I'll just share a lot of stuff on there, to be honest with you. Just different stuff I can't really discuss on the channel. Don't have time for or whatever, right? And I want to hear from the people. So this is really a chance for the Patreon members to tell their theories, discuss how they feel about things, right? What they want to see. And honestly, that's what I can't wait for the most to hear from everybody and what their thoughts and theories and whatever. And have everyone kind of have discussions about it, right? And move this conversation along forward. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So thank you again. Shout out to 602 Syndicate, Paco Duarte, El Comandante. He's out at Arizona. Big love, guys. Thank y'all so much. Rock it out in the studio. Banging out beats. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not cool, so I apologize for that. I'm not cool, okay? I don't know how to be cool. Anyway, there is another clip from the Unraveling the Universe that I might be covering later in another video. I think I am. So just stay tuned for that. Something I found quite interesting, to be honest with you. Again, Ben's a great interviewer, man. He really gets some great answers, and he asks great questions, and really appreciate him. So again, like I said, please go check out his channel, give it a subscribe, support the guy. Okay, we need more people like him. So anyway, what else I got? Oh yeah, my interview with Michael Ian Black, actor and comedian Michael Ian Black, is coming up on Monday. I'm recording it, so I made a post on the Vetted YouTube channel where you can ask questions for him, and I'll get to as many as I can when I speak to him. So go leave your question on that post, and yeah. Okay, y'all. Very excited for tomorrow's video. The video's coming up. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know entirely. So anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow's video. Remember, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day, y'all. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, every day's a gift. Peace.